Hello and welcome to Mangum News. I'm your host, Elijah Mangum. This week we'll be discussing the impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine on the United States. Dr. Thomas Dobbs is set to resign as state health officer. Governor Tate Reeves signing a new bill that will benefit families of first responders. The Let's Glow Florence 5K and Fun Run. The first trailer for ObiWan Kenobi, my review for Turning Red, and my exclusive interview with founder and CEO of Woman to Woman with Joan, Joan Bale. Without further ado, let's begin. As the gas prices continue to soar across the country, President Joe Biden has announced a ban on Russian oil imports. Following the announcement from the White House on Tuesday, the national gas price average has reached over $4 a gallon this week. Mississippi State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs announced that he will be stepping down from his position and his resignation will take effect at the end of July. Dr. Dobbs has been in office since his appointment in 2008 and became a leading voice in the coronavirus pandemic in Mississippi. Also, Governor Tate Reeves signed House Bill 779 on Friday, which ensures the families of law enforcement officers and firefighters who passed away due to COVID-19 in the line of duty will receive full state death benefits. This legislation allocates $5 million from the Coronavirus State Physical Recovery Fund to support the families of individuals who lost their lives in service to Mississippi communities. The Department of Public Safety is responsible for managing the trust fund and dispersing the death benefits. We are here at Florence High School during their first annual Let's Glow Florence 5K and Fun Run. Florence and McLaurin High School's Medical Science Academies hosted their first annual Let's Glow Florence 5K and Fun Run at the Florence High School on Saturday night.
Well, Elijah, the first thing I want to point out is a year ago this time, we had a group of seniors coming out of COVID, knowing that we needed to get together and do something big. And that started with Get Fit Florence. We wanted 2,021 miles by the community. And the thing is we've been cooped up, told to stay away from each other. And we said, hey, the weather's good, let's get out and start walking. And that blew it through the roof. I think we were at 2,080 something miles at the end of that. Well, that led to the 5K craze. And we had the first Get Fit Florence 5K in August. And it was put on by Performance Therapy. Performance Therapy put it together and it benefited both health science programs. The turnout was great, the weather was even better. And off of that, the funds come in great with a 5K. And so I decided that if we're going to do a 5K, we're going to do something unique so we can generate participation and drive in the revenue that we need to build our academy. And what our students are raising money for is an atomage table. And the atomage table is like one huge, banged up, totally awesome iPad. And it's about 6', 6.5 foot long. And it has a body on it that the kids can go in and touch different parts and dissect a human being digitally. There was a case where a prisoner died and they do an autopsy on them, and the kids go step by step through that autopsy on this iPad or this table. And now the table's $70,000. So if you're out there and want to donate big, we're looking for donors to put their name right there on that machine. That'll be there forever. But we are right at $26,000. McLaurin, on the other hand, they are in their very first year of having a Health Science Academy. So they are looking for any funds to get them started. They're growing, and I know they're going to have a great time and a great product at the end of building their academy as well.
The evening kicked off with a 5K across the campuses of Steens Creek Elementary, Florence Elementary, and Florence High School into the surrounding neighborhoods. This was followed by a 1 mile kids fun run and an award ceremony. On Wednesday, the teaser trailer for Disney Plus's ObiWan Kenobi series debuted during Disney's investor call. The trailer reveals the show's villains as the Sith Inquisitors from Star Wars Rebels, and a tease of Hayden Christensen's return as Darth Vader.
First off, can you kind of discuss how Woman to Woman with Joan started?
So back in 2014, that's when Woman to Woman with Joan started, and it started as a fake Facebook page. Of course, I was dealing with issues of life and things like that, and God charged me or challenged me to start the Facebook page and just share my concerns, my opinions, things that I was going through, just to encourage other people. But it ended up encouraging me after I finally posted for the first time, when the other women were saying, oh my God, I really needed to hear this. This really helped me. You don't know how much I needed this. And so that encouraged me to that my opinion not only mattered, but I wasn't the only one that felt that way, or that I wasn't the only one that was going through what I was going through at the time. So that's how it started, as a Facebook page. And that was in 2014. And then in 2015, we hosted our first women's conference. And it's just gone from there, from women's conferences. Now, we haven't hosted a Let's Talk session in a while because we were doing those in person, but the conferences, the Let's Talk sessions, and coming up our Mississippi Legends Ball. So our ultimate goal is just to empower women beyond their circumstances. That surrounds everything that we do.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into my next question. You know, you alone, have been doing, you do public speaking, you host a talk show, and you have a magazine, you do so much. So kind of describe what a week in your life looks like. And what y'all do at the organization.
Well, what I do to pay the bills is I am an insurance salesman. So I don't want to say insurance salesman. I am a market point sales representative with Humana. And what I do with Humana is I educate Medicare beneficiaries on their benefits and make sure that they're getting the full use of all of their benefits with Medicare. We educate them on Medicaid and how that works. So that's what I'm doing from 8 to 5 every day is educating seniors and their children or their family members about Medicare, how it works, and making sure they're getting their full benefits. Now, with Woman to Woman with Joan, I do like the reading the Bible with Joan on Mondays and Friday nights at 10 p.m. to help people who are, maybe people who are not sleeping or getting ready to settle down, and we just read the Bible. Right now we're doing a study on the women of the Bible. So tonight we're going to do the virtuous woman. That's Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. So we're going to talk about that. But just posting encouraging things or things like that, other than the events. The events are our big things, but in the background, just encouraging women, praying for them. People will call me, somebody will inbox or things like that. And that's what we do on a regular, just encouraging women however we can. And then how I live my life. I try to live my life as a as a worship sacrifice. Somebody's always watching, and I don't always get it right all the time, but people are watching how you do what you do, how you respond, how you react. So I try to not live a perfect life, because there would have been no need for Jesus if I could be perfect, but to try and try to live my life the way that will encourage somebody, if that makes sense.
God be the glory.
Yes.
But and kind of describe, and that's how we, as Christians, that's how we should live our lives,
Absolutely.
and that, everything should be for the glory of God. And sometimes we have to fight pride in us sometimes, and yeah, and you have to, and I deal with it too. So
Absolutely.
we all have our struggles and things we battle, but we have to remind ourselves, who God is and who we are, and how
Right.
we should live our lives to glorify Him.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and the other thing was, can you describe on that question, describe a little bit about like the magazine and what that's all about, and your talk show, what's that all about, and how often you do it?
Okay, so with the magazine, it's a monthly magazine that we hadn't published. We're doing a special edition to get everything back going. Since the pandemic, I hadn't done a whole lot of stuff, but the magazine, we're doing a special edition for, and it'll be released right before the Legends Ball, which is March 26th. And it will, of course, talk about our honorees. We have 8 honorees for the Legends Ball. But with the magazine, it has the same motto, empowering women beyond their circumstances, but also we're telling the stories of Mississippi women in a way that we want our stories to be told. Because a lot of times when people come, and like if they do a movie or something about Mississippi, they try to do these different accents and this and that. But I wanted to create a platform for us to be able to tell our own stories the way we want our stories to be told. So we highlight Mississippi women, and then sometimes we highlight women who are out of the state, but mostly it's Mississippi women. And if I lived my whole life, I would never reach all of the women in Mississippi who have amazing stories to tell, but don't have a platform to share those stories. So that's what we do with the magazine each month. We're looking for everyday, ordinary women. Now, we do have women who are doing big and powerful things, but there are some women. At home moms is an important job. If that's all you do, then that you are still important, because your children depend on you. Your husband depends on you to take care of the children. So that is an important task. So it's not just she's just an at-home mom, she doesn't do anything. She does more than you will ever know. Just being at home with those kids. So those are the women that we just highlight, everyday ordinary women who are living life and trying and doing their very best to be the best that they can be. With the talk show, it's pretty much the same thing. We're just highlighting everyday ordinary women who have a story to tell but don't have a platform. We just provide the platform to shed a light on Mississippi women, to show that we can encourage each other, that we are professional. We aren't just country bumpkins who walk around barefoot and pregnant all the time. But what we do is important, and we matter, and we are more, we don't have to say sophisticated, but we are more educated and more, we stand out more than what people will admit or would like to show. And that's what Woman to Woman with Joan is all about. Empowering you with the words of my testimony, or you empowering me with the words of your testimony, because there's always somebody else, or somebody may be thinking, hey, I'm in this all alone. Nobody knows how I feel. Nobody knows what I'm going through. Well, yes, we do. Somebody does. So we share our stories to encourage women all over the world. And with the magazine, it's reached Uganda, Ghana, Jamaica, so many. When I look at those statistics of where the magazine is being read on issue.com, it's like, oh my God, this magazine is international. So
Can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming Legends Ball, and how can people get, if they're interested, how people can get involved?
Yes. So the Mississippi Legends Ball started back in 2017 with a mission to highlight women from the civil rights movement who had not been recognized, women who had it started out looking for women who were in the background, maybe doing the cooking while the other people went out to do the marches, or maybe somebody who was the babysitter for the kids while the other people went out and did the marches, because they were, like I said, just as important as the people on the front line. Because if they weren't in the back doing what they were doing, then they wouldn't have been able to go out and do what they did on the front line. So that's how it started. But of course, it has evolved. So we were first honoring women who made an contribution to the civil rights movement. But this March 26th, 2022, at the Civil Rights Museum, the two Mississippi museums, it'll be from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. and we probably won't be there that long. This just gives us time, but we will be honoring women who made contributions to the civil rights movement and women who have impacted our communities. So in order to get tickets, you can go to eventbrite.com and search Woman to Woman with Joanne, and it'll come up with the only with Joanne out there, Woman to Woman with Joanne. So we're honoring, I'm gonna pull this flyer up because I dare not miss somebody's name. But we're honoring, Dr. Lucille Green and Donna Ladd of the Jackson Free Press and Mississippi Free Press. We're honoring her, Dr. Lucille Green, Miss Colleen Sanders, Eva Jones, Miss Eva Jones. So let me go back. So Miss Colleen Sanders has the Geneva Foundation, and it focuses on women who have suffered from domestic violence and abuse, as well as Miss Eva Jones, who has Butterflies by Grace, Defined by Faith, and she works with women who have suffered from domestic violence as well. And they just teach how domestic violence is not all about hitting, but it's emotional, mental, spiritual abuse as well. We have Miss Willie Jones, who is the first woman to own a trucking company in Mississippi. I'm not sure if it was just Mississippi. I'm not sure how far it reached, but we have Fumi Franklin, who has Thick and Proud Sisters. And this is a lady who teaches voluptuous women. That's not the word, but she teaches them how to be comfortable in their skin and how beautiful they are and how precious they are, not only on the outside, but on the inside. And then we have Dr. Flonzie Brown Wright. She was the first African-American woman to be elected to office in Canton, Mississippi. And Miss Pauline Rogers, who has the Reach Foundation, and she and her husband are ex-offenders, and what they do is rehab offenders, women offenders, and I think they've had their first couple of men as well, to get back into society. And since they've been on the inside, literally, they know what it takes to really and truly rehab somebody and keep them from going back. And I think right now their organization is the only one with 0 recidivism rate. So I think that's amazing. So these are some of the women that we are honoring at the Mississippi Legends Ball.
That's all we have for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all on St. Patrick's Day.